So they call it the Designer Mystery of the Month Club, but I think it should be called Comfort Food. Hey, this is Carrie Canary Quilts, and we are on block 8 of the 2022 Designer Mystery Block of the Month Club that Fat Quarter Shop does every year. I think this might be their 16th year or something like that doing it. I don't know. I'll put it down below if I can find out. But it sounds like they've been doing it for a while, and I've already signed up for 2023. The colors look really pretty, and this has been a lot of fun to do every month. It's challenging enough, but yet easy enough to make you feel good, that it doesn't take very long to put together. The colors are just gorgeous. Like I said, I feel like it's just comfort food every month. You get it. The patterns are somewhat familiar. The colors are just comforting. And when I'm done, I just feel good. So it's been a lot of fun. We're on block number 8 out of 12. So we've only got 4 more of these to do. This month, it's called Boardwalk, and it's by Corey Yoder. I like this block. It looks fairly traditional, except the center has this floating square in it. Instead of the center being the entire square, this little blue-white block is floating, and I really like that. I think it looks really unique that way. And then I walk through and show you how to get your stripes lined up here. They don't tell you that in the pattern, so I tell you how to do that. It's not too difficult, but I tell you how to do it so that your stripes aren't going every which way in your block. A little easier than this one over here, but still, it's not just marking them all the same. So I go through that, and we go through this block real quick. It's real fun. Then I talk about my finishing kit. I've been working on the finishing kit. So I did the log cabin, and I ended up losing my footage for this. But at the end of the video, I do talk about it, like what it was like to put together and what I thought about it. And there's 8 of these, and it takes a while to put together. The other thing I also talk about is the first block I did, I had a commenter bring to my attention that I'd made a mistake. And I'm so glad that she did that, because I probably never would have noticed. So I show you my mistake, and I show you how I'm gonna fix it. And I did. I went ahead and fixed it. It took about 5 minutes. It didn't take very long, but kind of a significant mistake, but I don't know. If it'd gone in that way, it might have been hard to see also. So here's all the blocks so far. Not the red ones, but all these blue-green ones are so pretty. What we have left to do is to there's borders that go on each of these blocks to make them as big as this block. So I need to do that. If you look at the pattern, I have enough blocks to put together 3 rows. So I may start doing that. But anyway, if you want to watch me put this quilt together, if you're putting it together with me, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. You get notified every month when I get these. You'll get to see me put this together in the end. I've got lots of other fun stuff going on this channel, so stick around and we'll have some fun. But anyway, let's get started on our Boardwalk block number 8. All right, here we are on block 8. I can't even believe that we're on block 8 already of the Designer Mystery Block of the Month. This one is by Corey Yoder, and she's at corianderquilts.com if you want to check it out. Looks like a pretty classic block to put together. We're going to be putting corners together, and then these flying geese units, and then the center. But what I like about the center is usually it's just one big block in the middle, but this time she put a border around that block, if you want to call it that, a border. And it just makes it look unique that way. So to get our cuts done, I've got my alphabetties in use in other places. So A and B are the background. So I'm gonna get those cut, and then C is our corners, in our corners here. And then D is our stripe, which I'll show you how to get your stripes going all in the same direction, which is fairly important if you want it to look like that. And then E are these squares in the middle, so just got a bunch of squares. And then F, G, and H is this beautiful green fabric that's in the center. So let me get my cuts. I'll come back and show them to you, and we can start assembling this beautiful boardwalk block. Our cuts. A is the flying geese, and that's right there. B is in our corner, that's there. C is also in our corner, and E, so those are those cuts. D is where we need to mark these so that our stripes are going in the same direction, and that's why I have 2 clips there. I'll show you how to do that. F is just this strip right here. It's a pretty big one. G is below the flying goose, and H is on each side of the center square there. And then you'll see how this goes together to give it that big green area. So, all right, let's get started. First thing we need to do is take our B, C, and E, and we're gonna make that corner unit. So I'm just gonna stack mine, because we're gonna need 4, like this. I'm gonna just put them all 4 together. And then I'm gonna put these in stacks of 4 also. I think I got 5. And we're gonna sew these 2 together, iron towards the blue polka dot. Sew these 2 together, iron towards the blue polka dot, and then we'll put them together. So I'm gonna get all 4 of these sewn and iron them towards the blue. And real quick, make sure that your backgrounds, that the right side is up. It's really hard to see, I say this every time, but I always stack mine with the right side up so I don't have to figure it out as I'm going. So you're gonna have one of the E's left over. Don't be alarmed, you didn't cut too many. That's gonna be the center block. Okay, I'm gonna take my leftover E piece. I'm gonna put it right here with my H, because that's where we're gonna need it later in the pattern. So now that I've got these put together, we've ironed towards the blue, which means when we put them together, we have those beautiful nested seams. Love a nested seam. So we're gonna get all of these sewn together like this, and we're always gonna iron towards the side with the background patch. All right, corners are done, and we've ironed towards the side with the background patch on it. So I'm gonna set those aside. Next is the flying geese. So what I want to say about that is take your D, which is the stripes, and we need to mark them on the diagonal. But you need to mark 4, where you're going from left to right while the fabric is in a vertical position towards you, is the way I remembered it. Make the fabric in a vertical position, iron from the top left to the bottom, or not iron, mark from the top left to the bottom right. Then on the 4 other ones, with the fabric in the same direction, mark from the top right to the bottom left. That way, when we're over here on our flying goose, so when you're over here on your flying goose, and you sew it and you flip it, why am I having a hard time? Your stripes will be going up and down. And then when you do this one, same thing will happen. Stripes will be going up and down. So that's how you have to mark it. Vertical towards you, and then opposite markings. So with that being said, let's get these in the right piles. Let's start on the left-hand side. And my fabric is all facing up. Whew, want to make sure. I'm going to set these aside. And we're going to do all of these first, where you're going to put you're going to put on the left-hand side with the diagonal going from the top middle to the bottom left, so that when we sew, we get that nice vertical stripe. So I'm going to do all of these like that, and then we're going to trim 1/4 inch and then iron towards the corner. All right, I've got my pieces sewn on, and I came over and I trimmed them 1/4 inch. Just put the 1/4 inch line on my seam and then trimmed it off. So I've got that 1/4 inch seam allowance right there. So we're gonna iron now towards the dark corner. So to finish off our flying goose, we just take our other side, line it up on the right, and make sure that our line is going from the center down to the right side. So we'll get all these sewn, trim just like the other one, and iron towards the striped fabric. Look at that. I mean, seriously, I just love the contrast with the white and the stripe. That is a gorgeous flying goose right there. Next up is, let's take our G and we're gonna put it here on our flying goose. On 2 of them. So we want to put our green on the side with the point. So we're just going to put those together. And I like to sew, in my machine, I like to sew with the point of the flying goose facing up towards me so I can see where my needle's going to land on that point. So we're going to make 2 of these. And we are going to iron towards the green. There we go. There's our 2 flying geese units with the more narrow green strip. Now we're going to take the other 2, take our F, which is the wider green strip. We're literally going to do the same thing. Put it on the side with the point and iron towards the green. And again, I like to sew with my flying goose up so I can see where my needle's gonna land on my point right here. I love these colors. These are colors I would never pick for myself, but now that I'm working with them, I just really enjoy working with these colors. There we go, that's how our flying geese units are put together. Last thing to do is take our H and our last E, and we're just going to put it together like this, and we are going to iron towards the center block. So just get these sewn on and iron towards that white piece. All right, there's my center block piece, whatever you want to call it, made. Iron towards the green. So now we take all these pieces and we build our block. So this is our center. The flying goose with the largest green piece goes here. We know these go in the corners. And then these go on the sides. So usually I put my 9 patches together like this, but we're gonna put them together like this, because the center row doesn't match up with these. So, since we ironed, oops, let's make sure we get this oriented correctly. I'm just all excited to put this together. There we go. So, these seams, the way we iron them, will nest. So, yay! Yay for nesting seams. So let's take this side and nest those seams up here. We'll get that ready to sew, and the same on this side. Nest those beautiful seams. And then we're gonna just put these together, no seams to match, just edge to edge. And we are going to be ironing towards the flying geese. Always iron towards the flying geese in every row. So that's a good way to remember it. Just always iron towards the flying geese. All right, got all these done, and we're gonna do the exact same thing for down here. Add these nest seams, iron towards the flying geese. Put this on here, iron towards the flying geese. Okay, my rows are complete. So we need to add our outer rows to our inner rows, our inner row. And the only seams to match are right here. And these are nested seams. So let's start there. Let's nest these seams. And then nest this seam. And then we'll fill in between with some clips, pins, whatever your choice of constraint is. So I'm gonna sew this on. We are ironing towards the center unit with both sides. So I'm gonna add the other side just like this one. So when I come back, my block will be done. There we go. It is finished. Let's see, I put it together like this. So, oh, that is so pretty. Really pretty. It's like comfort food. The fabrics are pleasing, the pattern's pleasing. It's not too difficult, but it's not too easy. It just is a very pretty block. It's very fun to put together. It goes together really quickly and it makes you feel really accomplished. And you get to add it to all the other blocks you've done so far. So there you go. That is block number 8. It is called Boardwalk by Corey Yoder, the designer for Motive Fabrics. So I did do a video on finishing these log cabins, but unfortunately it was lost. So I just wanted to go over these real quick. They're really not too hard to put together. You build this center here and it's 4 pinwheels and 5 patches. So that's not too hard. And then you've just got to keep track of your fabrics, which is easy because they're all different lengths. And you just start adding with the background first, and you always iron towards the background, and then you start adding with the color, and you'll always iron towards the color till you just kind of do this circular motion around till you get to the end. So the other thing with this is you make, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. So it does take a while to make these. And also, I would like to address the other background blocks. So, a commenter brought it to my attention that some of my corners weren't in the right spot. And when I got so excited to put this together, and I just did it in this last block, is you just lay these corners down. So you can see that I have a blue corner here and a white corner here. So I looked at all of them, same thing here. I looked at all of them, and 3 of the blocks I have all of them with the white corner in next to the center block. Now, that's not what the pattern calls for, but that's how I put 3 of them together. And there's 5 of these blocks, so I am going to go with the white coming next to the block and out in the corner. So what I need to do is take off these 2 edges here and flip them and put them back on. I'm not going to redo all 5 blocks because I don't think it's a big deal. They're so small in the pattern that I just don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be pretty and it will be unique to me, I guess. If you want to put it that way, my corners will be white, not blue. But anyway, thank you to the commenter. I can't remember right offhand who that was, but thank you for letting me know that I did that. It is kind of hard to tell with all the white in this and the light blue, but I'm going to get these 2 rows switched. So if you were following me and you did the same thing, maybe check it out, but I'm sure you did it correctly. So I've got all my background, or my finishing pieces, I guess if you want to call them. These pieces here are all done. I need to also start putting the outer borders on all the blocks that I'm building. And this is block 8, so I literally could have the top 3 rows of these done when I start doing that. So there you go. There's block 8 called Boardwalk. There's me. I walked through my finishing blocks. Sorry I didn't get this video out, but it's really not that difficult to do. And I showed you the mistake I made in these. And I'll show you when I get to putting on the borders for this and maybe possibly even putting all this together. I could have the first 3 rows put together. But anyway, if you want to watch me finish this quilt out, and each month when I do the blocks, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and check out the links below for the fabrics. It really does help the channel out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!